So I think in the Track Them All, we were interested in a new and ongoing state of being in public, which is a new condition of constantly being recorded, monitored, documented, and archived anywhere we go by different devices. And this is done either for the pretense of security, like for our own safety by different governmental agencies, or simply for the anticipation and sort of trend forecasting of different consumer behaviors. And we were interested by this condition not so much in terms of being critical or even treating it as a dystopia or giving moralistic judgment on it, but more out of the need to creatively think about the opportunities that would be inherent in this new condition, using the mall as the departure point. So that our hypothesis in this project was that the mall could act as a prototype for a new type of urban experience native to the digital age. The shopping malls constitute their own very distinct typology because of perhaps in the context of surveillance, they're the most, both in terms of environmental control, but also being recorded constantly, as users were used to this reality. So it was the ideal departure point to make an experiment, which would be the beginning of a broader context of surveillance, which would extend to exterior public space.
Currently, we're able to move and browse around digital space and generate value even without making purchases, in the form of data through clicking aggregations, cookies, navigation history, etc., which are used, collected, and combined to determine your customer profile. This model is currently not applicable in physical space of retail, in which you need to make a purchase to generate value, and Track Them All is an opportunity to change that. Our second reflection is in terms of the relationship between surveillance and the city, in which, whether we like it or not, tracking is currently omnipresent through a variety of means. Whether it's your GPS cell phone tracker, security cameras, or satellite surveillance. But they are not necessarily fully implied and made transparent for the individual. In the mall, where there is surveillance cameras every 5 meters, it is unrealistic to expect that you aren't being tracked, and we grow accustomed to this state of being public. This is another reason why the mall can act as a prototype and ease the transaction into this new mode of existence.
So Track Them All is predicated on the shopping mall acting and behaving like a data mining infrastructure. For this, we propose a new ecosystem. Firstly, the relationship between the mall and retailers is changing because the dependency of physical stores as distribution points for suppliers is decreasing for many different reasons. And for this, consumers are actually buying elsewhere, and retailers are reaching and selling to the customers directly to other channels than the mall. As this happens, retailers are actually already investing in online media buys in the sense that they're investing in targeted campaigns, advertising, and research, and they're expecting feedback from this investment. So we're proposing that essentially the relationship between the mall and retailers takes the form of offline media buy, the form of staging an experience and gathering of an intelligence rather than the wholesale of products. With this in mind, there is a new relationship that's established between the mall and the consumers. And that one is predicated on transparency and the establishment of personalization of surveillance, and which in turn could trigger new opportunities for mutual benefits between the mall and the city. This is the new ecosystem.
Through the offline media buy, the mall could offer retailers a variety of services, set the stage, and act as operations and logistic infrastructure for immersive and experiential advertisement for the retailers and products it represents, provides data mining and trend intelligence reports, providing feedback on customer trends, conducts rapid experiential A/B scenarios at beta testing, analogous to the online world of digital services, and synthesize the results for different brands and products, creates and tracks the progress of local brand followers and brand ambassadors. And finally, with the rise of AI, set the stage for an age of automated analytics through big data and increase of complexity in comparable datasets.
Within this ecosystem, the success of the mall is predicated on keeping up with the latest surveillance technology, but also maintaining a large and diversified sample size. Because citizens and consumers are becoming more and more conscious of their invasion of privacy, Track them all is hinged on the creation of a new conceptual model for fairer, more transparent, and more personalized data exchanges between individuals and the mall. This new model is called the personal return on investment. The personal return on investment is proportional to your physical presence inside the mall, accrued over time depending on your usage as a token of site loyalty. If you're a returning customer, your data is indeed more valuable. As a mall perfects its tracking infrastructure, your presence can also be coupled with other recordable data streams. We call those multipliers, and they also have an impact on your percentage. The user has full control over which multipliers he is willing to share and give away. As he or she activates different multipliers, their impact on the overall return on investment is made clear, as their individual value is in itself dynamic and contingent upon a supply and demand process of data urgency and scarcity. This leads to a new take on push notifications, which inform you on when your preferred or most exclusive data streams can maximize your personal return on investment and therefore your return on value, rather than peddling discounts and urging you to consume more. The personal return on investment model and formula also accounts for future changes in technology, consumer habits, and the nature of different data streams that we may find valuable. Different multipliers disappear and develop over time and reflect the priorities and evolution of our culture through what we capture and why.